our brand new episode of the Three Whiskateers.
Yeah.
My name is Jamie. I'm your host. We have our angel-haired hipster Curtis, as always, and the happy Honduran Ed.
I forgot my name already.
I did. Eddie, the happy Honduran. So this week I see we have an assortment of Weller, 6 beautiful bottles. What's the story behind this, Curtis?
We have Weller.
We have
We have
Weller.
Weller.
3 months ago, our dear friend Matt, down at Ben's in Cedar Rapids, let me know that John's Grocery in Iowa City bought a barrel of Weller.
That's right.
And I immediately called down, and I immediately talked to DJ and said, hey, I want to reserve as many bottles as possible.
Yep. I called them also and made sure that we were on the list.
So as soon as it arrived last week, I left work early, drove down to Iowa City, and picked up my bottles.
So did I.
I did.
It was an adventure.
So anyway, we have an abundance of Weller, and we are very happy for that.
That's right.
And we want to
Extremely
thank,
hard to get.
yeah, we want to thank John's Grocery in Iowa City,
Yeah.
and of course Matt at Ben's for helping us out, because it's hard to get Weller, and we're glad to have friends who will help us.
Yeah, big
That's
shout
right.
out to the smaller stores. They always got our
Yeah.
back.
Local.
That's where we like to go. Those are the 2 main spots in our local area.
So, what we're going to be doing tonight, apparently, is we're going to be talking about some sort of another surprise.
A brand new episode of Surprise the Enthusiast. We'll put these away. So, and excuse me, I'll sneak on by.
Oh, you want me to grab this?
Yeah, keep it covered though. Secret right up until the end. Right up until the end. Sit down, and then we'll...
He's getting nervous. Curtis is getting nervous.
Where's your excitement at right now?
Oh, dude.
Well, let's see what you brought.
Okay.
Tell you what.
And now for the unveiling. Curtis,
Wait.
go ahead.
Did someone recommend you get this? Okay.
Who?
I got the...
So you got the Winter Storm. Well done. And you'll be
Damn.
leaving that here.
No, this is... I'm really amped up. This is probably the best bottle that I've ever bought in my life.
And I have not tried this, and I've wanted to.
Oh my gosh.
It did not come to any of the places that I usually buy in our area.
Yeah.
I didn't find it in Illinois or Wisconsin. And I saw it last week, but I was buying a half case of Weller, so I didn't have enough money to buy that also.
Yeah.
So, good
I
job.
scrounged up. I had enough money, and he told me there were 6 allotted to the state of Iowa. And I said,
Oh my God.
that's what sold me. I was like, this is extremely hard to get. You can't find it in this area. So I was like, okay, this is what I was going to get. I had a few other options, and I went ahead and bought this. So we'll unbox it here.
Holy
I'm not
crap,
sure
that's
how-
a nice box.
It's a cool box, too.
Is it open from 2 sides?
Well, I'm not sure. How did it open? Oh, here. Ta-da!
Oh my gosh,
Well,
okay. So I guess we push it down?
So we'll show it off. And then,
Maybe you lay it down and then you lift the box?
okay, now Eddie, you're the resident reader. Curtis, how do you open this thing?
I'll just let you struggle a while.
And you just pop it out.
There we go.
There you go.
Cool. As our resident reader, Edmund, why don't you go ahead and read what's written here on the side?
Ice wine cast finish.
Yes, that was
This is
something
going to
special.
be so interesting.
I know, I'm so
Because I do
excited.
like ice wine a lot. And it's not cheap, and it's usually really, really good. It's very sweet like a port, and I really like ice wine. And it's not just because I'm Iowan and I like, sweet wines.
So what is ice wine?
Yeah.
Ice wine is the grapes remain on the vine, and there's a frost.
Oh.
And then they use those grapes to create the wine. So the sugars are very much more intense.
Okay.
So, open.
Why don't you go ahead and read it while I...
Well, it just says here, despite the freezing January weather, Brian braved the tour of the vineyards, where he learned how to grapes had to be picked at moonlight at minus 10 degrees Celsius, when they are as hard as a pebble. And these stories about extreme conditions and the unique production process of the intensive sweet ice wine were inspirational. Okay, so I guess these grapes come from Niagara, Canada. Okay, so the tasting notes. To the nose, a bouquet of tropical fruit and candied sweets are perfect balance with underlying wine notes. Taste, soft sweet notes reminiscent of candied fruit and Turkish delight, developed into flavor of mouth-watering clichés. The fusion of sweet flavors is soon met with a rich, drying sensation of ice wine. Alright, and the finish is short and crisp. Is it lychee or lychee? Lychee.
Lychee?
Lychee?
Lychee fruit. It's a Japanese fruit.
Japanese fruit. Okay, we're doing the Japanese fruity.
Ice wine, cast finish, experiment, aged 21 years, luscious sweet, batch by Glenfiddich, single malt Scotch whiskey, 43% alcohol.
And this is apparently very limited. And it's an experimental series, so we'll probably never see this again, in this form anyways, with the combination of, I guess, like the key notes of lychee, sweet, and tannin. So I guess this is like a one and done series, unless people really like it. But we're gonna have to wait like 50 years to see the next batch.
Well, or 21.
21.
Okay.
21 year.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there'll be like a 3-year period or 6-year period where they're not gonna know what to do.
We're drinking a 21-year-old Scotch.
21-year. Oh my gosh.
Wow. What do you think?
Very much Glenfiddich. I mean, you really taste that. You really.
Oh, you
taste
pronounce
it.
it Glenfiddich?
That's how I pronounce it.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
I'm wrong. And Glenfiddich, maybe. It's very similar. We can pull down another one, and you can try that also. But it is sweet, and it is really nice. So, what do you? When someone says, "Is that whiskey smooth?" What does
This
that guy
is
mean?
really, really smooth.
What does that mean to
In
you?
my opinion.
To me, it means that when it goes down, it doesn't burn as much, and then the burn is like maybe kind of warm but not crazy, and then when you taste it, there's no like punches. So it's not like say like whatchamacallit, like the Stag, like a Stag Junior. That thing just punches you from beginning to end. This is very smooth, and it has a little bit of kick, and it's very sweet. I don't want to compare it to a cognac, but I would consider it like a very fine cognac because it's got that smoothness all around. So it is very similar to a cognac because it is made from fruit and it's
No, it's not made from fruit.
lychee.
It's not made from
that's-
lychee.
It's not.
That's a tasting note.
That's a tasting note.
Okay.
It's not made from.
Well, they say fruity here the whole time. Fruity. Okay.
Maybe it has something to do with the ice wine barreling, or it's barrel aged with ice wine.
It's the barrel.
Okay,
Yeah. It's because the grapes they're picked when in harsh conditions when it's really cold. So that's what makes it sweet. So that's what the sweetness I taste. So I guess it is fruity, just not from lychee or whatever that.
Okay, so what does smooth mean to you?
Smooth to me. I really agree with what he says. I never really knew. I just said it because it was something that people say. It was something that wasn't harsh where I'd go like, oh, oof, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth is more, it's easier to go down. It's not very, I don't get a lot of complex things when I think it's smooth. But
Yeah.
I might be wrong, so what do you think?
Well, I think it is complex, but it's kind of you have to search a little bit more for it because you're like when I first drank it, I thought, okay, this thing's gonna be like super crazy, but there's just so many different notes, and as you taste it, it's like you have to really search for them, and it's like you kind of just have to kind of check them out, do like a little check mark.
I was going to get back to what we were
Go ahead.
talking about.
To the smooth.
I found it interesting that when I was talking to Matt at Ben's, he was telling me when people come in and ask for a whiskey that is smooth, not what you guys were thinking.
Okay.
The general public thinks that smooth means sweet. They want a sweet whiskey.
Oh, really?
And that's not what smooth means. Smooth means that it is well balanced There isn't a shock in the flavor,
Mhm.
and it's gentle all the way through the palate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now
that makes a lot of sense.
A lot of times, a whiskey that has a high alcohol content will be harsher,
Yeah.
but it can have a high alcohol content and be finished very well and not be harsh.
Right. And this one's 43%, so that's kind of like the average of whiskeys, really. 43.
Right. So it has a burn, but it doesn't have the burn that
Yeah.
you would think of with a really harsh whiskey.
Yeah.
And really, the burn is usually the alcohol content and the way that it is finished, so it isn't finished smooth to the palate. So,
But I mean, I've had some 43% stuff that's just like, it just sucks.
Well,
it's just a really
that's
strong
because-
finish, kind of like the Stag. The Stag here, I mean, this one's, never mind. This one's,
did you just say Stag sucked?
Stag Junior. No, I didn't say it sucked. I just said it was kind of hard. But this one, it's like at 64%, so we really can't compare that to this. But as far as sweetness, I knew bourbon had some sweetness to it, but I never thought about it as, okay, sweetness equals smooth. I just thought it was like easy drinking.
Well, it doesn't.
Like,
it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's what.
No, but that was my thought.
That's what a lot of people think
Mhm.
smooth means is
Yeah.
sweet, and that isn't the case.
No.
No, it
No.
just seems like it's easier to go down. I liked your definition a lot, and I'd probably put that
Yeah,
in the
and you know,
dictionary.
this is very light. I would call it light.
What do you think, Bern?
Yeah, what do you think, Brent?
I really like it. I think it's great. I don't really have any tasting notes to add to it. Most of the time when I drink stuff like this, the first thing to kind of pop into my mind is always maple. Like, maple syrup a little bit, or maybe possibly apricot or date, maybe. Maybe not so much date, but I think it's really good.
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint it, but it's like I have some kind of berry profile in there. But it's really smooth. I don't want to say it's like apricot, but I think maybe more like a peach. Like a stronger peach.
I get the lychee at the end. I really
Maybe
do.
I'm
I
not
never
sure.
had
I don't know
I never
what
had
that
a
is.
leech. I never had one, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe I gotta go to the grocery store and buy one.
Probably an Oriental market.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not
Yep.
sure what that berry is, but it's definitely. I could tell you what, if I sat this down with somebody and I told them this is a way above average whiskey, nobody would argue that for sure.
No, I think they would say I thought this was gonna really be strong and it's gonna suck, but really, this is really smooth.
I'm absolutely happy that I purchased this. This is gonna. What we shared tonight is probably going to be it for a little while until a special occasion with somebody. And I don't know. Do you have any final thoughts on what you think about it?
I like it.
What would you say that it's like? From the best you've ever had to the worst you've ever had, where would you rank it?
Okay, that brings up a subject that we've not really talked about.
Okay.
I think when you get to a level in anything, a musician, for example, great guitar players, that gets to a level where every fantastic guitar player on the planet is incredibly a gifted artist. Same with whiskey. All these great whiskeys are great. And to say, this one's better than this one, you really don't get that. They are different. This one is different than something else that I've had.
Yeah.
Now, I remember a Linkwood 21 that I had that I thought was unbelievably phenomenal. And it was unbelievable. Now, is it better than this? No, it's different than this.
Yeah.
So I don't think I want to rank whiskeys as this one's great and this one's bad.
Yeah, and I think once we reach that level of like 10 years and older, you really, there's some that I've had that are not very good, but this is good.
What can I say? Sharing,
Like, even
is
though this
our
is-
motto, right?
That's
We
right.
love to
Out,
share.
out of all the ones
Happy
that
to
I've
share
had
with
that
you.
are like 21,
Thank you.
I think they're all ranked about the same, but they're all really, really good.
This is my first 21-year-old whiskey. I'm pretty sure.
No, I've given you a 21-year-old
have.
whiskey. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first one that you've
my
bought.
personal. By far. I don't.
Oh, you mean you're not leaving it here?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I will
It
run
looked
out.
really good right up there on display.
Sure would.
Just put,
I don't even think I would share this box. This box is so beautiful. I love it.
get the masking tape and put Jamie on there.
I still hold the receipt. Send it out. Ed, what is your final thoughts on this?
I think as far as my 21-year-old, any bourbon, this is probably one of my favorites. I thought it was really smooth and fruity, and it reminded me a lot of cognac, with something that I like a lot.
Right on. And with
Yeah.
that note, the Great Britannian, will you carry us on out of here, buddy?
I guess. All for one.
And one for all!
That's right.